What is up, guys? It's your boy No Risk, No Premium, back with another episode of the Market Overview. Guys, today we had a very much gap down into some lower areas, finding a bottom, rip up higher, which we kind of called. If you're on the Sunday sermon call yesterday that we had posted, we said we're gonna be looking for maybe a little bit of a fake out, maybe a liquidity grab. We got exactly that today. Too much doom and gloom of everybody and their mom thinking the world is coming to an end. When we're just playing the chart, you can easily see that it looks like we're going to have this little zone flip here. So the longs are really the only trade you're going to be looking at today, unless you played like the afternoon drop, which also paid pretty handsomely. So a fun day nonetheless. Let's really quickly check what we got going on in the market tomorrow. Really a whole nothing burger, no big pre-market data. Just data 15 and 30 minutes after the market opens. You can see we got the U.S. global manufacturing PMI, composite PMI, services PMI, and then they have the Richmond manufacturing index and shipments. That's 15 and 30 minutes. And as far as is that going to make or break the market? I don't believe so. What else we have going on tomorrow? Tomorrow we have a few earnings after hours that are going to be some pretty big earnings. You guys know we like to play SPY, QQ, QES, and all of the tickers that are within those, the Magnificent Seven, whatever you want to call them. Right. We have a few of them reporting tomorrow. First one, Microsoft. Next one, Alphabet, which is Google. So you can play Google with an L or just Goog, which is right here. And then we also have Snap, Boeing. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Snap, Boeing's the next day. Coca-Cola. So you got Microsoft, Alphabet, Snap, Coca-Cola. So lots of big names. And then even at the remainder of the week, we still have AMD is going to be the following week. I believe 31st. Yes, following week. But we'll have Meta still. We'll still have Amazon coming this week. Apple's the following. NVIDIA's a few weeks out. AMD's next week. But still, lots of earnings coming up here. So as far as is the market going to get trendy? Is it going to get this? Is it going to get that? We have no idea. Right? We have no idea. Typically, we know when the market has big earnings events or big daddy events, there could be some chop. Right? It could be uncertainty of investors to be overly long or overly short or just even in a position at all, right? So all we can do is play the chart, not your heart. The only thing I could see here on the ES chart that I did like that we kind of almost, not really a hammer candle, but we just show responsiveness of buyers at the bottom. We did show that sellers were still there at the top. The only thing, kind of worries for me to have a true big bounce or reversal here, that's maybe not just a dead cat bounce, is this 200 MA, right? The 200 MA, we dip below it here. And then we bounced up. We ended up closing still below that level. So that level will be big, right? That's about 4260, call it. That's about 4260. So just keep your eye on that level. Now let's zoom down a little bit, go to the 4-hour chart here. We can see levels I'll be looking for tomorrow. Really nice, big engulfing candle here on this 4-hour, right? Anytime we get a big 4-hour candle, you usually see we have some sort of bounce that comes with it. So we could see, right, although we made a lower low, and we did not make a higher high from Friday, but we did put an engulfing candle in. So I do like this to see if we can maybe get this dead cat bounce to get us back to maybe 4,300. So tomorrow, game plan will be simple. Have to get through 4,260. That's that big macro level, the 200-day moving average on the daily chart. But anything into this zone, right, from 4,200 all the way up to today's low, this zone in here, that's a long bounce zone for me. I will not be looking at the short trade under there. Why? If you just zoom out and look left and keep things really simple, you could just see it looks like we're going to be having a supply possible demand flip come in here. Okay, now if we break underneath, 4175, sure thing, we have a lot of room to fall, but I think the odds are we're going to be back to the upside here, right, for this bounce to take place. So I'll be watching today's low. Right. Sorry, I can't even get to the right chart I want to get to. Right. 4-hour chart. I'll be watching today's low all the way down to 4,200. But another level that you could watch on the that's a little bit higher. I think 4,250 zone, kind of where we close down today. Right. Kind of where we close. Watch this zone in here, even down to 4235. You could watch this zone in here for creating that higher low to get us high, to rip higher, or take out 4285, which opens up 4300. Initially at this 4300, I would probably be looking for an initial slight reject. I think you can get a couple points on ES to make the juice worth your squeeze. Anything above 4305 will squeeze this thing back up to 4350. Okay. Onto the SPY chart here, going to be very similar to ES, obviously. All about that 200-day moving average on the daily chart. Let's come over here. Let's zoom out. Let's look left, right, zoom out, look left. As you can see, we have this zone in here. We have 422.50. 422.50 is the 200-day moving average, right? We knew we had this weekly low for that gap down from a while ago, but we bounced it back up. If you look on this chart here, yep. That 418 level, just zooming out, looking back, we could see, but we closed, we broke down from 420. We ended up closing back above 420. So that's a big step thus far. Still underneath the 422.50, which is the 200-day moving average, but we are still above 420, which is still, I'd say, some little bit of bullish structure. Bulls are hanging on by a thread, but nonetheless, you cannot ignore 420. So I'll be looking 420 to hold. 422.50 could be that area I like. Anything that holds into there can look to see if we could take out today's high. 424.50 would open up 427. 427, which is Friday's high. Look for a possible reject from 426 to 427 in this little zone up here. So let's watch for the longs at 420 to hold. If we gap up, maybe 422.50 area can hold that 200-day moving average, which is maybe the back test if we gap up and hold. Or watch today's high, 424.50, and then 427, 426.27. Look for an initial reject. If that breaks to the upside, watch for 429, 431 as levels to the upside if we can break above 427. QQQ, why can't I type you in? QQQ held a major level today, right? 351, held it on the button, hasn't made new weekly lows at all. Matter of fact, just has a 1, 2, 3, 4 bottom really, but this 351 was a huge level. We went down, dipped just below it. We knew that was our long trade. If you're in the Wolves, we caught some longs down at that bottom down there. So still 351, 351, 351 is going to be huge. Watch that level. I like the short trade underneath 351. Have to get underneath 351. Okay, I like the short trade opens up 348 all the way down to about 346. You got two levels marked there. But now we're going to be looking back to the upside here. I like to see if 354 can hold. Tomorrow, 354, right? 351 was our level today. 354 create a higher low. We could see that was kind of the opening price today. See if that level can hold. If it can, great. Look to take out 360 to the upside for continuation, 362, 366 from there. So let's watch 360. Keep play an initial reject off that zone. You can see we're rejected there hard. But I think if this is a real dead cat bounce or just a short-term reversal, if you will, or just a nice big bounce, we could easily take out this little bit of resistance, right? That can get us running up to 360, right? You kind of see this little bit of a down trend line just on the Qs. Now the Qs has been a lot stronger than just like SPY. But you can kind of see, right? There's a pretty steep trend line. So you can see these levels are kind of starting to match up. 362, I think, is that zone. Over 360, we could get up to, maybe reject off the trend line there. Last but not least, guys, IWM had to hold what? 164.50. 160, well, it was really 164, 164.50 is what I had this morning. Weekly chart, we just zoom out, we look left. We know we're not shorting down here. We're not done. We do not short at demand, especially 3-year long weekly demand. Right, we do not short at those levels. We know 164 held. That's great. We still have tons of work cut out for us. We have to get back above. We have to get back above 169 or 170. So the work is not done until we get back above one of those two levels. But look for 164 to hold tomorrow. Break and hold at today's highs. 167.50 opens up 169, 170 above there. Over 170 can go back to this little top of this balance zone up here to 176. And guys, that's all I got for you. Lots of data coming out this week. I think Powell's on Wednesday as well. Lots of earnings, not like true CPI data or anything like that, just earnings. So pay attention to those earnings. Don't get caught playing options on tickers that have earnings and you get caught overpaying for premium, right? Because the IV will be lifted. Wait for the move to happen. Wait for the earnings to come out. Play it the next day. When the IV crush hits, it'll be in your favor. That's all I got for you guys. You got to wake up early, get your levels right, and of course, not do anything fucking stupid. We'll see you bright and early. Peace.